Well, apparently he's actually transitioning now onto the southbound 710, and you can see that all of a sudden there is no other cars on the freeway. Now, there might be a chance that they're going to do some sort of pursuit intervention technique out here. I don't think it's going to be the actual pit maneuver that we see where he bumps the rear end. They might be doing something with some spike strips is what we're hearing. But again, I think they had plans on doing that on the 5 freeway, and he took the southbound 710 once again. And this is pretty much where he started off. We were on the southbound 5, but he was on the 60. And again, we did see him down there on the cell phone talking to somebody just a few moments ago. Obviously, one of the charges they're going to put up against him, talking on the cell phone while driving. But again, he's southbound 710 now, and I believe that they were thinking about or hoping to do the spike strips on the 5 freeway, but apparently he did made a turn here, and now we're on the southbound 710.
Yeah, and you see, how many units are still behind him?
Several.
Well, at one time we know that there was several behind him, but it looks like we got about 4 or 5. There's 3 that are directly behind him, and then there's probably a 4th that's farther back. That's probably the one that Soraya sees out her window. That's probably the one that's basically that's doing a block, is keeping the civilian traffic from getting up and up close to this vehicle. They're trying to keep people behind them, just in case it does come to an end. They'll have the time to stop the traffic and keep it safe, so people aren't locking up their brakes as this guy comes to a stop. But again, you saw that one unit zip past him, and when that happened, it seems like he picked up a little bit of speed here. But again, southbound 710 freeway is where we are now. And again, this guy's still in pursuit. CHP still the lead agency here, and no signs of any kind of slowing or any kind of this guy giving up anytime soon.
And we've been following this since 10:30 this evening. Has this driver been swerving at all along the freeway?
Well, we haven't seen him doing anything too radical. We right now is pretty much the most we've seen. It seems as though he's speeding up quite a bit here. Now he's passing. We're just south of it. We're 710 freeway, and we're just south of Atlantic. And he's speeding up a little bit. It looks as if though he's picking up a little bit of speed here. It could be just an illusion, because a lot of these trucks in this area drive slower because of the traffic and the construction. But it does appear that he is speeding up a little bit. But the simple answer to your question was he was driving erratically. That's the reports we heard. We didn't actually see him doing any erratic moves. He might be taking an off ramp here. Hang on one second.
There you go. It looks like he's exiting.
He's definitely exiting. I don't know if this is Atlantic or Firestone, but definitely exiting the freeway here off the 710. And CHP moving up very, very quickly here.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep an eye on this, see where he goes from here.
And this gets really dicey because you're headed into a residential or perhaps a business area, surface streets. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. We finally
Whoa,
stopped.
There we go.
Him. Or they finally stopped him.
Boom.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. A perfectly executed pit maneuver there. He spun him out. We're at Atlantic, is what I'm told. I'm sorry, Florence off ramp off the 710 freeway. You saw him pit him right there. That one officer being very aggressive, keeping this guy from moving. You can see him just gets out of the vehicle. It's like he's done this before. I'm sure they're not even giving him commands. He just gets out of the car, put his hands on his head, and is just is laying face down on the road. And there we go. This is what we talked about earlier. There's reports that there's one person in the car. Now we know that there's 2 for sure. It looks like a female right there, and this is part of what officers fear the most is they think that the vehicle is cleared and then somebody else is in there. Again, she just kind of jumped out on her own there. Again, we don't know if there's more people going to get out of that car, but definitely now we know 2 suspects in this vehicle that they've been pursuing here. Now, CHP one officer is clearing the vehicle while the others take these 2 suspects into custody. Again, until those handcuffs are on these guys and they're up against the car, it's still a very tense situation, especially for officers down there.
Yeah, there they are being cuffed, and they will be taken into custody. CHP officers, of course, making quick work, doing such a great job as usual. It
looks like there might have been a child inside that car.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Yeah, there's definitely a baby. That is. We thought maybe for a second it was just empty,
Oh.
but definitely a child.